Welcome back to the Strategic Stripping Podcast. My play name is Valeska, and I apologize for being a little bit MIA lately. I've been visiting my family on the East Coast, which is part of the topic today, location or environment. It matters. It matters a lot, actually. I'm not a scientist, don't play one on TV, but from the research I've done, your environment shapes you. According to what I've read about epigenetics, which if you know nothing about, I suggest you look into, just Google Bruce Lipton or YouTube him. Epigenetics, it's like the new secret underground science that's being uncovered. Your environment literally shapes who you are. It has a profound effect on your cells. So for example, let's say your family has a long line of diabetes, so everyone assumes you're supposed to get diabetes. Everyone in your family hangs out a lot, everyone's around each other often, and then you move away and you get super healthy friends. They don't eat junk, they love their fruits and veggies, maybe even eat all organic, don't eat a lot of sugar. They exercise and play often. And though your brother and sister might quite possibly have developed some type of disease or teetering on getting diabetes, you never develop it. But chances are you would have gotten it if you kept hanging out with your family or friends that were all eating fast food, candy bars, etc. It's your environment, not your genes, that determines so much of your life. You will raise or lower your standards depending on the people that you are around, depending on what you fill with your head. Your environment, the environment that you're in, really matters. This goes from clubs, all the girls are lazy, to all the girls are hustlers, to friends, all your friends are negative people that like to gossip and bitch all the time, to all of your friends like to talk about big ideas, possibilities for the future. What can we do to improve our lives? To the class that you're in, if you're around a bunch of people that are broke all the time, you're more likely to lower your standard than to help your friends raise their standards. I'm going to give you a quick story. I was in a weird place in life, surprise, surprise, where I found myself hotel hopping with one of the most adventurous strippers I had ever met besides myself. This chick was the epitome of a traveling Barbie doll. Big ass boobs, white as paper teeth, long blonde locks, and messy as fuck. I had always been a germaphobe. I had always been a crazy germaphobe. I mean, I wash my hands a lot. I have my own organic essential oil hand sanitizer spray. I don't touch door handles. I've always used essential oils as perfume because I don't like chemicals in perfume. I'd rather throw up outside or in someone's bathtub than in a toilet because that's disgusting. And while staying with this girl, one time there was a knock at the door. It was 11 o'clock. We're both still in bed, like super passed out. It was a cleaning lady. So she got up, opened the door, just asked for the towels, didn't want her to come in and clean, which I didn't either. And as soon as she closed the door, she turned around, and before taking one step to head back to the bed, she just opened her hands and let the towels drop on the floor right in front of her. I couldn't believe it. But the thing that really got me was her toothbrush. I found her toothbrush on the floor near the toilet. She just didn't give a fuck. She laughed, picked it up and put it in her bag and said, well, that's nice. This girl lowered my standards when it came to cleanliness in a ridiculous way. And it's gotta be because we stayed together for so long. Because had it only been like a week, there's no way. But we were together for a while. She rubbed off on me. And that standard has never gone back up to where it was, by the way. I officially lowered my standards being around this girl, and I haven't met anyone that's counterbalanced that in myself yet. Okay, so why am I talking about this? No matter where you are in life right now, if your surroundings are chaotic, if you don't have a quiet place to think, if you have dogs barking around you all the time, neighbors that stress you out or that you just straight up don't like, family or friends around you that you don't like, get yourself out of that environment. If you want to be successful, get new friends, and I mean it, or just eliminate all your old friends and start to study successful people, or go to meetup groups, go to play sports, get out and be active and meet other people that are being active. Being active is one of the healthiest things that you can do for yourself in a mental way, not just talking physical here, but to keep yourself out of depression and to keep pushing forward, you've got to be active. And sometimes when you can't be around other people, like I don't know your situation or your circumstance, but if you can't be around certain people right now, start to study people that make money. Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss. Check out a guy named Tom Bilyeu. You can just type in impact theory on YouTube or as a podcast. Also, the Mind Valley podcast by a guy named Vishen Lakhiani. Just type in Mind Valley, one word, into podcasts or YouTube. You'll find him. It's a fucking amazing podcast. Study money makers. Study world changers. You might not feel like you can do anything right now, but I swear to you, listening to motivational stuff is the only reason I'm still going. I have huge ambitions, and if I wasn't following these global world shakers, I wouldn't be doing shit for myself right now. I wouldn't be doing anything but being overwhelmed and sad and stressed out. And girls, this is important. Keeping the environment in your mind positive is important, but your actual physical environment is very important as well. If you can't get out of your physical environment yet, but don't say something like that to yourself. Just ask yourself, how? How can I get out of here? Be more specific. How can I go to the best place for me? How can I go to somewhere with money? Think about the places that have the most money. I know Stamford, Connecticut, I believe, is one of the richest places in the world. I would not recommend going to San Francisco. That place is dirty as fuck. Well, don't take my word for it. Study. Study these places. Washington, D.C. has a crazy amount of money, though I also didn't like it there. This is super dependent on you, though. But find out where you want to go. Figure out where you want to go. And get into an environment that is positive. This is so important. It's so important. And they say that motivation is like bathing. So even if you can't be around positive people right now, fill your mind with motivational stuff. Get a headset. You know what? I'm going to post a headset. I'm going to post a headset that I have on here. It blocks out all sound. It's Bluetooth, and it's amazing. It's not that awesome for phone calls, but I'm not saying to buy it for phone calls. I'm saying to buy it to block out the rest of the world and to listen to amazing stuff. Motivation is like bathing. You don't just do it once. You do it daily. I don't want to make this super long. It's just been a while since we've talked, so I wanted to reach out, say hello. I believe in you, and I want to encourage you to think bigger. And that might require getting in a new environment. Don't make excuses. Ask how. How can I do XYZ? How can I move? How can I change this or that about myself or my life? What can I do? There's always an answer. Always. Tony Robbins says that the quality of your questions determines your life. And this motherfucker knows what he's talking about. Change your environment. I'm saying this so seriously because I'm back visiting my parents again. You guys might have remembered my video from a little bit over a year ago talking about exercise and depression. I was in a fucked up place in my head when I made that video. I was in a fucked up place in my life. And my entire life has done a massive 360 since then because I moved. I left where I was. I changed my environment. It's really important. So change your environment. Study successful people. Study people that think big. Come join our Facebook group if you're a female and a dancer or a wannabe dancer or an OG used to be dancer. I talk a lot in that group. It's a lot easier for me to text than to publish these episodes. I put a lot of time into these episodes. There'll be a link in the description to get involved. Speaking of text, actually, it's easier for me to text in that group than it is for me to publish episodes. If you want to get emails of encouragement and awesomeness from me, I don't want to be conceited, but I hope that you think it's awesome. Send me an email at strategicstripping@gmail.com and say, count me in. And as soon as I start emailing regularly, I will add you. The info you'll be getting in there will be different than what you get in the podcast, and honestly, I think that you'll like it. I love to write. I don't know why, but I love to write. And speaking for me is a little bit different. I don't like it as much. I like to type. I don't know why. Maybe the era I grew up in, I don't know, but I like to type. I think you can visualize things a little bit differently when you read too. And there's different types of learners. If you're not someone that listens and learns, you'll like my emails a lot more as soon as I start making them, which I promise is coming very soon. So take care for now. I love you. Stay positive. Stop making excuses. Ask yourself how. Change your environment. Go study successful people. I love you. I believe in you. I'll talk to you soon.